fantastic morning this morning and enjoying life. I'm so happy to have you here where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Those of you obviously know Cafe Kubal, know that Cafe Kubal is here with us every single week right here in our community, our fantastic community of Central and Upstate New York. And I can't thank them enough for all that they do. They are here on 3501 James Street as well as on 401 South Salina Street, both in Syracuse. They're inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse, thanks to Golisano for all they do for all of our kids and all of our families. And of course, they are with us on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, where I just was yesterday with Jason Leone. You can go back and watch that special with the Oswego State Lakers men's basketball head coach as they gear up for the CNY Tournament inside their conference and a hopeful berth in the NCAA Division III men's basketball tournament. So you can check out that video by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt or to our social media, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on Twitter at CallDT. That's CALLDT. So make sure you check that out. And of course, the location, the newest location of Cafe Kubal that you will find on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse, New York. You can check them out today in their drive-through location right there at the Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road once again. So fill your cup up right this morning as you get ready to watch and listen to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I'm so grateful to have you here and so thankful to have you here. So however you're connecting with the show, thank you so much for being with us. And like you know, our coffee cup has the sun rising out of it. This is the logo of Wake Up Call. Thanks to my graphic designer, John Granquist, for all the work that he's put forward to bring this to life. And it's perfect that we're inside the Cafe Kubal studios when our logo has the coffee cup front and center with that positive vibe rising of the sun. We have Cafe Kubal rising here in our community. So make sure you head out to them today and let them know that Wake Up Call sent you. Fantastic broadcast coming up inside of MonPosPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. I am so excited. Every single Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we feature the Moyne Dolphins. It is Dolphin time. You can set it and keep it every week, every Wednesday, 9 a.m. It is Dolphin time with Moyne Dolphin content coming throughout the month on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora exclusively. And we're going to have 2 doses of the Dolphin Dive. You know, every first and third Wednesday of each month, we have AD and DT, new episodes with Bob Beretta, the athletics director at Moyne, and myself, Dan Tortora. And every second and fourth Wednesday, we have the Dolphin Dive specials with student athletes, coaches, staff members of Moyne telling their stories, why they chose Moyne, and what's going on with the Moyne Dolphins and their journey, as well as having alumni and future Dolphins on the show. So many different guests. We've had so many incredible stories. You could check them all out by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, clicking subscribe, and by going to the Moyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com. So make sure you do that this morning. You bookmark it, you save it, youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, subscribe, and subscribe to wakeupcalldt.com and bookmark that Moyne tab that we have there so you never miss a broadcast again. And so you get all of our specials in the archive. Fantastic show coming up. My first guest, we have a double dose of Dolphin Dive. So every second and fourth Wednesday, we feature someone connected to the Dolphins. Today, we're featuring 2, not 1. We're giving you a double dose of the Dolphin Dive. We'll start things off in just a moment with Franky Delia. Franky Delia going to be joining me. Franky, a CNY native, a Moyne Dolphin goalie, a national champion, all here with us. Franky Delia tells his story. Now, him and I were at Pizza Man a few months ago, having a fantastic time supporting local at 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville, New York. We laughed. We had Dan Sheehan, the head coach, there. We had his team there as well, Nate Arnold. Shout out to all of the guys on the Moyne Dolphins national championship team, the teams of old, and the current Moyne Dolphins men's lacrosse team. Franky Delia tells his story with me in a very heartfelt, deep, multi-layered lasagna, which makes sense because we both have Italian blood. You're not going to want to miss a moment of it. and it comes up in just a moment. And at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be joined by our second edition of Dolphin Dive today. And that's, what's up, Mary? Mary Grimes, coming to the show on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Once again, she is no stranger to the broadcast. Spoke with her the day that she was officially hired to the Moyne Dolphins to be their women's basketball head coach. Well, as of last night, she has guided the Dolphins in her first season as a head coach and first season as the Moyne Dolphins women's basketball head coach. She guided the team to a share of the regular season title for the Southwest Division of the Northeast 10 Conference. They have the number 1 seed in the Northeast 10 Tournament, and all of this happening in her first chapter as the head coach of Moyne's women's basketball team. Mary, on the heels of being crowned a regular season co-champion of the Southwest Division, will join me at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for a double dose of Dolphin Dive as she follows Franky Delia of the Lacrosse team. Then we'll round out the show in an all-new video. As you know, on Wednesdays we separate the videos, so we'll have a second video on YouTube and Facebook for the Fantasy Football Power Hour coverage with Mike Sofka, proudly presented by the Wildcat Sports Pub, who brings you all of our fantasy football content every Wednesday between the 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. hour here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, the Wildcat, 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. 7 days a week, they are open for you in indoor dining. And, of course, 315-487-2222 is the number to call for takeout and delivery. And we'll get into the ingredients to success from Avicoli's. That is typically every Tuesday, but we're going to bring it to you today, as yesterday we were live on site on location at Cafe Kubal. Plenty of show coming up. I cannot wait. And I will not Ryan Seacrest this thing any longer by saying this is your edition of Dolphin Dive. We're coming back right after this. Thank you so much for tuning into the show and for choosing Wake Up Call. We appreciate you tremendously, and I cannot wait to share with you the story that's coming up next. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jim Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome here for another edition of the Dolphin Dive. As you know, exclusively here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, inside of our multimedia marketing partnership with the Moyne College Dolphins. We bring you Dolphin Dive every second and fourth Wednesday of each month at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, inside of Dolphin Time, which you can set for every Wednesday at 9. On first and third Wednesdays of each month, we have AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora. So it's always Dolphin Time, Wednesdays at 9 and all throughout the month. And we've had a great time being able to tell stories. The exclusive multimedia marketing partnership started shortly after you and I got to do our show out at Pizza Man. So I'm back here with Franky Delia and Franky from the Moyne Lacrosse team, coming back as reigning national champions.
That's right.
Happy to have you, man.
Hey, thanks a lot, Dan. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Hey, I like the AD and DT. That's a pretty good addition, I'd say.
Thank you.
It's pretty clever.
Appreciate that. So, Franky, you and I want to thank you too as well. I know I thanked you, personally, and I would love to, let people know too that when we started this exclusive multimedia marketing partnership, that before I could even reach out to you, you saw it, you reached out, and you said some very kind things, and I want to thank you for all that you did, because we got to get together, like I said, before the partnership even happened, and do something special for the community. So, thank you for being so kind and so positive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, once I saw that, I think my father sent it over to me. I couldn't be more happy for you. Definitely the right guy for the job. I knew you're going to do great things, just for the athletic department. And so what was it? Was it your father who attended here?
My dad was here, yeah.
Okay, cool. Was he an athlete as well? Or?
He played basketball in his life, but he didn't play here.
Okay,
so,
but
yeah.
he attended school here. Okay,
Yeah, he
awesome.
came here for his undergrad and then went on to become a lawyer. So Moyne, bringing him back up here and being able to shoot the video where we were actually right outside here and got to tell my dad that he's a Dolphin, and now being part of the Dolphins myself and being able to have that full circle and say Dad, we get to share something special together, and we get to do this was really cool.
Yeah. Like I said, I knew you were the right guy for the job, and then on top of that, the family ties and everything. That's awesome. I couldn't be more excited for you, and you're obviously doing a great job already. So I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I mean, I do what I can do, but you win championships. So
we're trying.
So
I got one.
Bring me into. I know we talked about it a bit, but here on Dolphin Dive, as we feature Franky Delia of the Moyne College men's lacrosse team. What was it about last season, now that you've had some time to think about it, what made that team so special?
Well, I think I think getting that last season before that, the 2020 year, taken away from us. I mean, that put a lot of motivation, underneath us, a lot of hunger to come back and prove what we can do. We felt, I think, the gist in the locker room in 2020 was that we felt we had a chance then, and then to come back 2021, get that taken away from us, and then to come back 2021, get the opportunity to recapture that was I think a good motivating factor. And then besides that, just really good leadership all across the board. Our leaders, our fifth year guys that came back, really awesome, and I think that perpetuated us into a good place. So,
and for you, when you have a season taken away, you can kind of sit there, you can sulk. Why did you and the guys decide to keep running, stay in the weight room? Like, why did you take it upon yourselves? Because you don't win a championship coming off of a year taken away from you if you don't put extra work in.
Right.
So why did you guys stay hungry when you could have just sat at home and played video games and said, whatever, we're not playing?
Well, I know myself personally, I think I spent that month of March pretty much doing that, just playing video games. And then I was working at the pizza shop for Jim Delia. But I think that first month, I think that's what I was doing. But you can only do that for so long before you start to, just get upset with what was taken away from you, and then start to get, like you said, that hunger back in you. And then as the summer came around, I know myself and I know a lot of other guys on the team had the same feelings that I did. You got sick of sitting around playing the video games. You wanted to get back out there and start working hard and get ready for the fall and for what was a championship run. So
the leadership you mentioned that came back last season, just how vital they were to the team in guiding you guys through a season that ended in a national championship.
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, we had great leaders across the board. We had Hans Zimmer, we had Will Petersea, we had Matt Hutchings who was there, Ross Filch, and then even some of the leaders, our captains now, who were seniors and juniors last year, but still older guys, guys like Nate Arnold, John Bellini, Casey Nevins, Ben McCreary, all our captains this year. But all those guys are older. They've been in the system. They knew the route to success, and they held that standard. They held a certain standard to the younger guys. They held a certain standard to me. Every day you stepped on the field, and they had high expectations for us every day. Never let us be complacent, and that's really what helped us get to that point.
So you win a championship, a national championship, and then you go back to work. Bring me into winning a national championship all the way to now starting off an entirely new season, just what that in-between has looked like and what it's felt like.
What it's looked like has been actually pretty good as far as, we've had a lot of guys come back. So as far as on the lacrosse field, looking really good, I feel as if we're a really talented team. And I feel we have a really good shot to make something special happen. But the transition is really about having the mindset of, hey, and it's almost cliche, but that was last year. We have to forget about it and we have to move on. We have a whole new year and a whole new goal. Last year's over. Let's set our sights, towards 2022. So we just really got to forget about it. So
having a lot of guys come back, what is the makeup percentage-wise that you'd like to share with people of that championship team that has come back?
Of the contributors. And
the contributors. Yeah.
I mean, a large makeup of our starters there, but then we got a few key pieces that are stepping up in a big way. We got Griffin Ackley stepping up, really, helping us out, doing what he can. We got Jagger Kerr taking a big role in the defensive end. And then we got a transfer in Carter Collins, who's just had a hat trick, I believe, the other day. I mean, he stepped up. So as much as we have the returners coming back, as much as last year's team is coming, and we have that start there. We have a lot of new guys, and also bringing another dimension to the team. That's really helping us a lot.
So much excitement. Lemoyne is known for lacrosse, and growing up, my dad still lives in my childhood home, and years ago there was a sign that appeared that's where the bus stop sign usually is, right by my house. There was another sign that appeared that said, "Home of the national champion Lemoyne Dolphins," and it was for lacrosse.
Yeah.
And that was years and years ago. What does it mean to you to be a part of history now that when a sign does appear and it says, "Hey, you're in Central New York, home of the Lemoyne Dolphins national championship lacrosse team," that you're a part of that history?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a dream. It's a dream to play for a local college like this. I mean, you grow up hearing about all the great success that Moyne has had, and it's just something special to really be a part of that. And then on top of that, to be a part of that when you come from the area, and then on top of that, to be part of it when your cousin was part of Coach Sheehan's first team. As my cousin, I've mentioned him right here before, with Pizza Man, Jimmy Delia was on Coach Sheehan's first team wearing number 8, the same number that I wore. So all those things are just factors that make it something that's incredibly special to me. And I would never want to be anywhere else in the nation, no matter what division. I'm so happy where I'm at. It was the best decision I've ever made, and it obviously paid off. So
would never want to be anywhere else in the nation, any division, than right here. I don't think that's a better endorsement of Moyne. So what does it mean to you coming off of that to be a Dolphin? You're wearing that on your chest right now. What does Moyne mean to you?
I mean, it means everything. It's given me so many opportunities. It's just such a great school, such a great community. I mean, it's a small school. It just creates this amazing community of positivity and encouragement all across the board. All the athletes, no matter what sport they're playing, is always encouraging us. So to what it means to be a Dolphin just means the world to me. And, looking back as myself as a kid, looking at guys that are on the Moyne lacrosse team, looking up to them, it's like, wow, these guys are amazing. They're winning national championships, and they're doing things at such a high level. And so just to be a part of that, looking back as how it looked as a kid, it really is something special. So
to be a little kid and to see this Moyne men's lacrosse team win a championship, did you ever envision it as you watched this team that you would be on the field someday doing it?
No, never growing up did I think that I would. I mean, I had some confidence growing up. I knew I was a pretty solid goaltender, but never did I think I could really get to this level and compete at this high of a level at this competitive of an organization. But luckily for me, I got Coach Sheehan who noticed something in me, and it's given me the opportunity to be a part of this. I'm incredibly fortunate for it every day of my life. So
bring me back to that moment where Dan Sheehan said, "I want you to be a part of this program."
It was, he was an incredible recruiter for me. As you know, I was at OCC for 2 years. Beginning of my sophomore year is typically when you start to get the college coaches calling you, and he was the very first one that contacted me. And he was all over me, and he didn't even have to be, because as soon as he contacted me, I knew it was the place that I wanted to be. So to have him be the first coach to call me, and then have him be the most relentless one, for me was, it was just a no-brainer for me right from the beginning. It really meant a lot. So
to have, when you have those couple years at OCC, when you have that time there, and then like you said, your first phone call is Dan Sheehan, the multi-time national champion. Like, for you, how did you respond in the moment to when those doors open and coaches could call you that the first one through the door is Dan Sheehan?
Well, I was just incredibly grateful. I remember as soon as he called me, I was just telling everybody on my team, God, I think I'm going to be a Dolphin. I called my mom, I called my dad, I called my cousin. I was like, y'all never believe this. What a high level program to be calling me, out of high school, somebody who didn't get any licks. And now, next thing you know, I got a high level of a program is Moyne calling me, and Coach Sheehan. I was ecstatic. I was telling people at practice that day, I think I'm going to be a Dolphin. I really like the things he had to say. Like I said, calling family, calling old coaches, letting them know. I was just so ecstatic about it. And that was even before I committed, and then I committed. It was a whole other level of excitement. So.
And, for you brought up Jimmy Delia, your cousin, who is obviously the owner at Pizza Man Pub, and him and I get to work very closely in our partnership as well. What was that like when you got to talk to him and say, hey, I think I'm going to be a Dolphin, by the way, and then after that to say, hey, I think I'm going to wear number 8 as well? Yeah,
so initially talking to him about, going to Moyne, it was he knew that it was going to be the right place for me. He knew, what coach was about. He knew what the school was about, the education of it. And then he knew, just the athletic programs, and like I said earlier, the small community, and everything that comes with it, the positivity, the enthusiasm that comes from everybody. Basically, he was encouraging me to do so. I'm sure, there was a little bit of bias there with him. He wanted to see me come to his alma mater and, do something special. But he also knew in his heart that it was the right place for me to be. So initially, that's, his encouragement was awesome. And then after that, I think it was, coming up to the fall that year, I texted him. I said, Jimmy, I think I'm going to wear number 8, and he couldn't be more excited about that. What a cool way to represent him, and everything that he's done for me. So
The bond that you had with Jimmy beforehand,
yeah.
how has that increased by coming to Lemoyne? Like, how would you say your relationship has blossomed now that you both have worn a number 8 and you both have a place that you've experienced that's the same? Like, now that Lemoyne has bonded you even thicker, what does that look like?
I mean, I guess it really hasn't. I can't say it's really changed much, because the thing with Jimmy is, as much as he wanted me to come here, I don't think if I went anywhere, I think he would have been just as supportive. And I think no matter what I was doing, he would have been the most encouraging, like I said, most supportive and excited person for me. I know, every time I do good, he's one of the first people to text me, congratulate me and talk about it. So like I said, I think I could have went anywhere in the nation. I think I would have had his support like I do now. But I guess a little bit more connected with our experiences, being up here at the Heights and playing for coach and all that good stuff. I guess that we're a little bit more connected in that way. But once again, to reiterate, I think he would have been a little more.
Coming from Franky Delia here with me in this edition of Dolphin Dive, celebrating Lemoyne College athletics in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You said on the Heights, it's something that we hear all the time. It's something that is worn on some of the gear. What does it mean to you to be on the Heights?
Well, once again, I hate to be redundant, but I mean, it's amazing when you talk about the athletic department as a whole, not even the lacrosse team and the, my teammates and the coaches and the parents that come with that, but, you talk about the other teams that are on campus, the other coaches, just people who are around the building, always giving you support. That small community feel to me is something important. I grew up in somewhat of a small community in Baldwinsville, where everybody knows each other, and it's the same thing here, and it's good, it's great. People are just always supporting you, always, rooting the best for you. First one to congratulate you over anything. So once again, go back, not to be redundant, but that small community feel and just that unwavering support of everybody in the athletic department.
There's a student athlete out there in the community here in Central and Upstate New York, or anywhere in America, or anywhere across the country. If they said to you, Franky, why should I consider being a Dolphin? What would you say to them?
Family. That's really what it boils down to. I know family when it comes to the team. Any of those guys would do anything for me if I asked them to. I mean, they would ride and die with me. So them, the coaches, and then, like I said, on top of that, family of everybody here at the athletic department. That's what I would say. If you love being close to home, this is a place for you.
And for you to be a part of this family and to be a part of everything that's here at Lemoyne, how has it made you a better person? Not just a better lacrosse player, but how have you improved as Franky Delia overall by coming to Lemoyne?
Wow. That's a great question, because out of high school, just a lot of things that I was trying to work out, and then you come here to college, and really it's just such a motivating environment. So being in an environment that the environment itself motivates you, and that the people around you motivate you. Once again, going back to that positivity, going back to that enthusiasm. That's helped me grow immensely as a person. So you're in an amazing environment with Lemoyne, and then on top of that, just the lessons you learn from playing lacrosse, from going out there every day, from working hard and being held to a certain expectation, and all the lessons that come with that. This place has made me, formed me into what I'd like to believe is a pretty good man, and I don't know, what kind of man I'd be without it.
So many words. I don't know what kind of man I would be without it. The best decision of my life, regardless of division or anywhere you could have gone in the world. Saying a lot about Lemoyne College. To go back to, with you being a goalkeeper, and obviously you want to protect that net at all costs, do you remember the first day you picked up a stick?
Picked up a lacrosse stick? I can't remember the first day, because I'm sure I was like 3 years old with the way lacrosse ran in my family. But I do remember the first day I picked up a goalie stick. I was at Coach Fiorini's camp, Baldwinsville camp. We had it every year, and everybody tried goalie. And so I naturally tried it. Eventually, I was a midfielder, but I wanted to try goalie. And I just remember I was making like tons of saves first time ever playing it, and I just, I was a little crap back in the day, so I just loved the attention. I'm making save and everybody going nuts. You can make 10 saves in a game. I don't know if you can score 10 goals in a game. So that's where it was like, to me, it was like, oh, I love this attention. And then on top of that, I remember I had a varsity player. I think his name was Andrew Mosier. He was my coach. I remember he was going nuts over me, and I remember after that day, I was like, wow, this position's awesome. I didn't care about getting scored on. I was like, I'm just going to make a ton of saves. I love this. So, back in the day, that's the reason why I chose it. But now, obviously, there's a lot more lessons that you learn from choosing these positions. Learning to have a short mind and you get scored on. And, you're in a team environment, but there's a lot of individualism, with the position. So,
how do you let it go when you get scored on?
Well, I never used to very well. When I was a kid, a little bit of a temperament, get scored on, hit the post, but over time, as we talk about developing as a man here at Moyne, but over time, throughout playing lacrosse, you learn to hone it, and you learn that, when we talk about the position, it's a naturally leader. You're in a natural leader position. A coach likes to call me the quarterback sometimes. So you learn over time that you can't do those things. Yeah. And you learn that if you do those things, the team's going to see that, and it's going to start to reflect in the team and that negativity. So I really just over the years really learned to hone it in, and now it's just second nature. I get scored on, I pick up the ball, I throw it to the ref, and make a funny comment to him, and then I get back to playing. So.
Do you have funny comments in the moment, or do you have things that you typically say?
I try to get on the refs. I always try to talk to refs because they're just people. So I usually try to say something like, I should have had that one, or I'll try to, that was a good shot, or something of that nature, just to try to get a little laugh in and try to lighten the mood a little bit for me. So.
Yeah, that comment from Franky Delia. Franky, it's that portion of the Dolphin Dive where he gets to dive into you a little bit more, and you get to put me on the hot seat too in rapid fire. You get to have some fun with it. So I'm going to defer to you. We're going to have a couple apiece. You can ask me a question.
Oh God, I can't ask you any question. Well, I don't have any sort of funny or something. I guess I met you this summer. I don't know too much about you. I would like to know a little bit about maybe what your athletic career looked like.
So I started. My dad wanted me to play baseball.
Okay.
And so I played Little League, and I fell in love with basketball when I was like 3 years old. I remember they had I think it was in my aunt's backyard, there was a blow-up pool, and with the blow-up pool, there was a blow-up basketball hoop, and there's a blow-up basketball. Mm-hmm. And I think somewhere in my house, I probably still have that blow-up basketball because I just loved it. And it was something that stayed with me, and I took it through my life. And I actually started out doing the potty shot when I was little, and I could make it really high percentage. And then my aunt's like, I'm going to teach you to shoot overhand, and she had me in her driveway doing it in Massachusetts in Amherst. And when you first do it, it's like holding an anvil. I don't know how to describe it, but when your body's not used to this motion, it doesn't feel right. And then I started shooting, and I'm just there, and I'm just outside. And it just turned into I was talking to my mom about it recently. I had coaches that helped as well, but I taught myself how to play. My dad really didn't come in the backyard and teach me a lot how to play the game, and I didn't have anybody in my family to talk to about it. So I taught myself how to want it. And I think that's probably one of the things that I appreciate the most looking back on my time is I know how much I loved basketball because I was the reason why I practiced so hard.
Wow, that's something special. Yeah, you do trial and error, kind of figuring things out. That's awesome.
What I like, I taught myself how to shoot left-handed, and when you first dribble a ball with your offhand and then you pick it up, it's that same anvil feeling. I put the ball in my hand and it dropped out, and I kept putting it in there 10 times. It just fell right out of my left hand. I'm like, what is wrong with me? And I remember just trying to do this, and it felt so weird, and it made me feel so weak. And now, I can shoot kind of a mid-range shot with my left hand. Not that it's as good as my right, but I can actually get the ball to the basket, which to me was a win. And I am the type of person where I'll go out to a court now, and I expect to make every shot. When I don't, I make myself stay on the court until I decide it's okay to leave.
Right, until you get into a groove and you end on a high note. Absolutely, yeah I get that.
So, yeah, I don't know. I fell in love with basketball. I played basketball and baseball. I played pickup football.
Okay.
But basketball to me has always been a part of my life. It's singing, basketball, and like going to Disney
Yeah.
are three things where I can just like, I don't know, like find myself again if I need to.
Yeah, because that's like probably what your roots were, you know, where you
Yeah.
were as a kid. That's awesome. So were you ever a fan of the Syracuse Orange? Is that, because growing
Yeah.
up, I watched them all the time. I mean, that was my favorite basketball team.
I wanted to play on the team.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a part of it, and it's funny because I finally got to play on the court, and there was a summer camp years ago, probably 7, 8 years ago, and there was a basketball camp at the Dome, and the Jim Boeheim court was there, and I was on the Jim Boeheim court, nobody was playing at the time, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to shoot around, because I never thought in a million years like I would get to play on this court. So I'm just playing by myself, and I'm just, you know, dribbling, shooting, and it's so weird because there's nothing around the court.
Yeah.
There's no like wall to stop the ball. It's just wide open. And I just remember being there and being like, oh my God, like even though there's like not 30,000 fans here, I still feel the weight of like, I'm on a court where I don't want to miss.
Yeah.
And not that I want to miss anywhere, but there was something about being on that court where I was like, I have to make this count.
Yeah.
Like I have to make this meaningful. I don't want to embarrass the court.
Yeah.
And Dale Shackelford, and this was like when we met, and now we're really close friends, is he played for Jim Boeheim, and the ball went out of bounds, and it went to the sideline, and he grabbed the ball, and I went like this, and he passed it to me, it bounced once, and it stopped. And I was, if you're looking at the S, I was playing on this side, and I remember taking the ball like this and going, I don't care what shots I made or missed in my life, I can't miss the shot. Because Dale passed it to me.
Yeah.
So I go to the right side of the free throw line and I let it go, and it drops in, and I looked at Dale and I was like, before I could even say it, he goes, I saw that. And I said, you got to change the stat sheet because your assists now in the career at Syracuse, you now have one more assist. Because it was on the court.
Right.
So,
yeah. And the history that comes behind that court. I mean, there's so many games that were just like incredible, you know, ESPN game days, you know, and then I don't know too much about it, but go back to the days of Pearl Washington and,
yeah,
you know, all those guys. The history that's on that court is crazy. So that's definitely probably something that was an amazing experience.
Like Georgetowns and the Yukons and the Pitts and the Villanovas and the St. John's.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's something to all of that.
Yeah.
And so that meant a lot to me. And in my own way, I'm like, you know what? To the kid that wanted to play here, I'm like, you got to pass. And this is how cool God is. You got to pass from a Syracuse player on Jim Boeheim's court in the Dome. You got to shoot a shot and you made it.
Wow.
And even if you're the only two people that saw it, Dale and I got, you know, like that part of history is that I got to touch that court and I got to do something on it. I got to make a shot.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's incredible. That's an incredible story.
So, for you, Franky, you know, we've talked so much about lacrosse, so I want to go to something else here. If you could ever be a dolphin, be an actual dolphin,
Yeah.
where would you like to swim and why? Like, where would you like, if you were a dolphin, would you want to be in a free ocean? Would you want to be at SeaWorld doing a showcase? Where would you want to be a dolphin?
Well, that's I didn't even think about SeaWorld. Well, SeaWorld's a
Marine land? Yeah.
Probably not SeaWorld, even though it'd be cool. But you know, when you think about the open ocean, there's so much out there. That'd be cool. Probably somewhere, definitely in the Pacific. Probably bouncing back and forth between somewhere off the coasts of like Southern California and then going back to Hawaii. I'd probably make routine trips back and forth around those areas. That's what I would do.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What would you say is, besides lacrosse, like your favorite childhood memory?
Oh, wow, that's a deep one. Favorite childhood memory. So I got two of them. I don't know if that counts, but I got two of them. One of them would be when I got my brothers. I got my brother Nicky and Joey, and you know, their friends, Dave Middlemore and Gavin Crippen. Some pretty good names to me, good people that I remember growing up with, coming over and just putting me in the net. That's part of the reason why I play goalie. You know, I shouted out to Coach Reedy's camp, but the main part of the reason why I play goalie is because they needed somebody to shoot on, so they would put me in the net, and they didn't care. They would just rip shots at me as hard as they could. I mean, they were all older, so that was a big memory that I can think of, just hopping in that little hockey net we had and them just ripping shots on me with tennis balls, getting hurt. But, the fun we used to have in my yard. And then on top of that, I think growing up playing sports with all the kids that grew up on my street, we had a cul-de-sac. I used to go down there every day. That was my biggest childhood memory, was just playing basketball, football, capture the flag, foursquare, kickball, all just salt night games we do. Like, that was just like my favorite memories. I don't think I'll ever be more happy in my life than I was then. I didn't realize it at the time. What I do to go back to being a kid and playing sports like that would be amazing.
Yeah, you could just like your parents opening the door on a Saturday and saying, "Go outside."
Yeah.
Do what? Do something.
Yeah, I was never inside as a kid. All the kids in my neighborhood, like I said, we were constantly playing sports. So those are the memories that I'll always hold true to my heart. So.
Yeah, and I could second that. So I mean, kickball and just everything, and like you said, capture the flag.
Yeah,
I loved capture.
I know, but it's like, who's gonna play? Where are you gonna play capture the flag nowadays?
Well, I think what you and I need to do is we need to create an adult league.
We should.
An adult capture the flag league.
I'm actually with it. This is so much fun.
It is. We used to play like hide and seek in the dark, which is called Ghost in the Graveyard.
Yeah, Ghost in the Graveyard. Yeah, and then I can't think of any blue night games. Yeah, that's what we used to do. So much fun. It's summer nights, at school. Those were my best memories.
Big kid games with Frankie and DT. That's what we're gonna create.
We should do that. I'm serious.
I'm serious about it too.
I gotta finish the season, but I don't want to get hurt.
I don't say things that I don't mean. So
okay, good.
I'm down with it.
Yeah.
We got one more bonus question. You can ask the first one.
God, I mean, you're coming up with good questions. We talked about your athletic career. I guess I wish I had something fun here, cool, but I really, I would like to know more about you as a person. We've known each other for a little while now.
Yeah, a few months.
Yeah, a few months. Just how did you get into this? What made you get into this? And, obviously, how happy are you to be in the position that you're in right now?
Well, people that know the show know that, I always mention my dad's word processor. And it's when I was 5 years old, my dad would let me use this. I would always ask him, "Dad, can I use it? Dad, can I use it? Dad, can I use it?" Every once in a while, because he did his work on it, he would let me use it. And what a word processor is it's a typewriter, but it's got a little tiny screen. And it was like the greatest thing ever because you could see what you were typing. And it had this little green screen with little black letters, and you type it in there, and then you would get it, and when it would print out, the way that it would print and come back and print and come back, and then my story would just be right there, instantaneous, and I could pull it out and get it. I asked my dad if I could have it, and I have that typewriter in my office.
It's the same thing as a basketball, just holding on to some of those things from your youth that really bring it back. That's awesome.
Yeah, that at 5 years old, I was telling stories. And so, I love telling stories. I always collected cards, and I would flip it over and flip it back, and I would just remember numbers, and I would remember stats.
Yeah.
And so I fell in love with sports. I loved collecting cards, photographic memory, remembering that stuff. I love to play basketball. I love to play outside.
Yeah.
I love to write stories and whatnot. And then on top of all of that, I love making people laugh.
Yeah.
And I love bringing people together. And so it's like to do what I do, it's this happy marriage of positivity, laughing, smiles, making people feel important, faith, community. It's all of these things that every single day, like there are days where you may not know, the person I'm interviewing doesn't know, but like you keep me going.
Yeah, right.
Like where people are like, "Oh, thank you so much for telling my story this and that." I'm like, "Oh, you guys don't understand. Like there was a time in my life where I was going through this really difficult transition. And in the transition, I had done all these shows, and I said to the coaches, I'm like, you guys brought me through one of what could have been one of the darkest times of my life.
Yeah.
And you had no idea that you were doing it. Like I said, you guys carried me.
Wow.
And so, I think for me, it's like, I just love it. I don't, you asked me that question, I get so excited that my throat's like can't get the words out fast enough. But I love every part of it. I love everything I do. I love being the person that I am. I fought to be who I am. I fought to be here. Am I happy doing it? I mean, it's me. Like it's me. It's a part of me. I don't put on a show. I just be me.
Yeah.
And I just, I love the fact that Bob Beretta saw something in me and Linda Lemira. I love that I get to do these things that are impossible. And my mom bought me a sign in my first apartment, and I take it everywhere. I can't tell you how many times I cried, looked at this sign, and prayed. And all it says is, hope makes the impossible possible. Mm-hmm. And I mean, how am I doing what I'm doing? I looked up at God and I was like, hey, I know we can do this. And it's crazy how in certain parts of my life I felt like I couldn't do this, I can't do this, I'm not good enough at this. And then I feel like God looks at me and he goes, you never, ever think that you can't do something in your professional world. So in your personal life, why would you discredit yourself? Why would you put yourself down? Because look at, you never back down. And I think that's the thing is, no matter what's bothered me, who's tried to stop me, what stood in my way, no matter how much I complain about it, get upset about it, get stressed by it, I never let it stop me. Yeah. So I think, from here to the rest of my life is, instead of caring about any of that stuff or talk about any of it, when something stands in my way, just remember the fact that, every time I complain, I don't stop. Every time somebody tries to stop me, I don't stop. The common denominator is I never stop.
Yeah.
So why don't I take all that energy, putting into the people and the places and things that don't appreciate what I do, and why don't I put that into just loving people up, being there for people and doing more for others, because you're never going to stop me. And that's what I realize is literally, I look right into the camera, you're never going to stop me. I'm never going away.
Yeah.
And that's because I believe in a God that's extremely merciful and good, giving me a million chances. And Frankie, I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, again, I mean, thing is what I love when you say that is how what you hold true to your heart, what gives you meaning in life, you're able to integrate that all into what you do, and what you do, kind of just it is you. It essentially is what you're saying. All your values that you hold, all your principles, that's all comes into this job, and that's awesome. And what I would say to you is, it just certainly doesn't go unnoticed. From following you, since I met you. I think actually I knew of you before we met, because Jimmy would tell me about you. He was doing radio shows with you. So I've been following you for a while. Your passion and your enthusiasm with what you do certainly shows in your work. There's no question about that. And I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome that you found something you love. I think it's awesome that you're relentless about it, and you never let anything stand in your way in your pursuit of your happiness. That's an awesome story, Dan. And then also the other thing is, you mentioned these things that you hold on, the basketball, the typewriter, the sign from your mother. That's incredible. You hold on to these things from your past that remind you, why it is you do what you do, and then they keep you moving all the time. I think that's something that I really wish that I did. It's helped, kept things from my youth, keeps me going. And I'd imagine that's small 3 examples of a much larger amount of things that you have. So.
I mean, it's stuff that I've realized over time that you have to be the one to remind you of who you are.
Yeah.
And when you forget, sometimes it just takes looking over at my grandfather's a Navy hat, or my other grandfather when he retired, and he was in the Army, when he retired from his job at Miller, that he had a forklift in his cake. And I still remember being in the dining room and coming over to him and being at his side, and him looking at the cake, looking at me, and grabbing the cake. Even my grandmother's probably got him doing all this other stuff, and he's got to follow the rules, and he grabs the forklift out of the cake that's got icing on it, and he goes like this, and he hands it to me, and it was that's yours. So there's just things that remind you, hey, the world can tell you who you are, or you can tell the world who you are.
Wow, that's a powerful. That is a powerful message. Seriously, that's awesome. Yeah, and then holding onto those things from, so you have that forklift, you're saying still?
I have the forklift,
Wow.
I have the hat.
That's incredible.
They're in my studio.
I have to start doing that. I'll keep something, I'll keep my stick forever. I'll hang my stick up from here. That'll be the first thing that I do, hold on to a piece of memory. And I feel like what that's going to do is just, like you said, remind you of who you are, and then just keeps you going. And
Yeah.
then, and then when you also talk about, like, this reminds you of your grandfather, this reminds you of your mother, not only does it keep you going and remind you of who you are, but it also reminds you of the people around you that really, truly care about you and want to see you be successful, and then that keeps you driven in itself. So that's awesome. I think I'm going to start using that. I really do. I'm going to start trying to hold things on, things that I put some sort of symbolism behind, and I'm holding that for the rest of my life. That's awesome.
Thank you for the question. My final thought for you, Frankie, is Pizza Man's a part of your life.
Yep.
I love the sweet heat. I think that Jimmy and Luke made it for me before they knew me. I don't know. It's like they knew me and made making pizza. So if you could make the most out that if you could put anything on a pizza and it would be unique, like just truly special, what type of pizza would you make and why?
God, anything unique, that's so tough, because it's like, as far as anything pizza-wise has been like done. Are we going up like, does it have to taste good, or could it just be like anything?
Whatever you want. I mean, the first thing I thought of in my head was gumballs. And I don't know
Okay,
why.
so yeah, that's kind of the direction. I was thinking maybe like a dessert, but that's been done. God, that is such a tough question. What would I put on a pizza that would make it unique?
Yeah.
I feel like everything's been done. I don't know. I think I just have to say, I'm gonna go just basic. I can't really think outside of the box. What I would do, me and my mom, I would do half for me and my mom. What we would do is, growing up, she'd always order us a pizza. Half would be, this would be her half, pepperoni, bacon, and onion, and then my half would be banana peppers, onions, and peppers. And I think that's my unique pizza. That's like mine and my mom's pizza right there. So extra cheese too for my mom. She'll kill me if I don't say that.
But the thing is, what you just credited me for, you just did.
What's that?
I asked you a question. You went to something symbolic of your mother, your relationship, and that pizza truly embodies you knowing her. I'm sure many memories over pizza with her.
Oh my God, yes.
And how much she means to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's been many memories of me and her eating some. She loved getting us pizza, and that's what it was.
Can we shout out, Mom?
Mom, I love you. I know you'll watch this because you're like my biggest fan. I love you, and I love when we go to Pizza Man and you give me a pepperoni, bacon, and onion pizza. So that's awesome of you, and I love you.
And for those that don't know your mom's name,
Noreen Delia.
Noreen has come up to me on her own and introduced herself, and she's been an extremely great supporter of me. I don't know how I deserve it, Noreen, but thank you for all that you do, because she is so proud of you. She's so proud of just everything that she gives credit where credit's due. She says things that she cares about. She just seems like a really amazing woman that loves her family, and she definitely loves you. So.
Yeah, she is. I'm happy you gave me a chance to shout her out, because without her, I mean, I talked about Coach and Jimmy and all these people that built up, got me to where I am today. But without her, I mean, she was the building block. She's the foundation. Without her, none of it's possible. She really is. Really, because of her is why I'm here. She's awesome. She's an amazing lady.
So for this very fruitful, very deep, very philosophical Dolphin Dive with Franky Delia, Moyne Dolphins men's lacrosse, myself, Dan Tortora. This has been an edition of Dolphin Dive, truly unique in and of itself. And if you want to see all of the stories that we tell with student athletes, coaches, staff members, alumni, and future Dolphins, you can go to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, click subscribe, and check our archive. And of course, you can go to the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com, and that Lemoyne tab has a library of all of these wonderful specials with Lemoyne College, and of course AD and DT with Bob Beretta, and of course our special with President Dr. Linda Lemura. As always, Frankie,
Awesome.
thank you.
Dan, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond. You can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you make your way out to the Millhouse Market today and every Tuesday through Sunday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Their indoor bistro dining restaurant changes their menu every single week, so you could try something new by coming back and supporting Millhouse Market, a fantastic local company here in our community. They also have a drive-through window where you can grab your food and go after ordering it off the app at the Millhouse Market app on the Apple app or Google Play Store. Download the app, see their entire menu, all the ingredients to all of the things on their menu. And once you've ordered, once you're set and ready to go, contactless pay, you can tip on the app. And once all that is settled and ready to go, you will also have the opportunity to have a directional map from wherever you are to the Millhouse Market. So make sure that you download that app today. And of course, they have a general store inside as well, right by the indoor dining bistro area. They have a general store with local products from local companies, including different things to utilize in your kitchen to obviously bring some seasoning and some spice to what you have. They have local honeys as well as local soaps. They have children's toys, jewelry, and so much more at the general store inside the Millhouse Market. It is a multiple place supporting the community, supporting one another, and remembering the history of our community. So thank you to the Millhouse Market for all you do for Pulaski and for all of us in general right there on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Worth the drive every single time. And with that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, proud to have you back here inside the Cafe Kubal studios where sports meets that thing called life. And I am so honored and so privileged, as always, every time I get the opportunity to have Miss Mary Grimes on the broadcast of Wake Up Call
with Dan Tortora. And as we are here every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the Dolphin Time and Dolphin Dive coming to you with stories from coaches, student athletes, alumni, future players, staff members, all happening the second and fourth Wednesday of every single month. And in this edition of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, we have a double dose of Dolphin Dive, as you just heard from Franky Delia, CNY Native, goalkeeper for the Moyne men's lacrosse team and a national champion, winning a championship last year in the 2021 season. He got to spend some time with us. And now, as a double dose of Dolphin Dive, say that 10 times fast, Miss Mary Grimes is here with me, Moyne women's basketball head coach in her first season as the head coach of the Moyne team. She has helped to guide them to a share of the regular season crown, which means that in the Southwest Division of the Northeast 10 Conference, they have been crowned regular season champions as they move forward as the number one seed on the Southwest Divisional side in the playoffs for the NE10. So with that being said, I get to say, truly, welcome to the broadcast once again, Miss Mary Grimes.
What's up, Dan?
So, and I wait, and I told you, I wait for that every day. Every time I get to talk to you, I wait for that. And I try to build it up for me because I know that it's coming, so I want to give myself as much time to get ready for it. But, I did it last night, and the pipes had a little bit of sleep here. So I'm going to throw it out there and say regular season champions inside of the Southwest Division. I throw back at you, what's up, Mary? Because I feel good about that.
Oh, that has a nice ring to regular season champions. It's definitely, thank you for that. And, it's definitely a testament to all the hard work that the team put in this season.
Yeah, and it's been incredible to see this. You just had a game on the road against Pace to wrap up the regular season. And with that game against Pace, sharing the Southwest Divisional title with them, just what it means to you to be the number one seed as we move forward in the NE10 tournament, coming out of the Southwest Division to be the top seed in that division, and at the same time to have a regular season crown that you've wrapped up.
Yeah, when you start out, you never know how the season's going to go. You always hope and think that it's going to go well, and to actually see it come to fruition, it's unbelievable. And, I haven't ever reflected on any wins this past season, but like I told the team last night, we did a lot. We accomplished a lot this season, and despite this loss we had against Pace last night, we still need to pat ourselves on the back and celebrate what we've accomplished so far. So, it's a great feeling. I'm definitely taking it all in, and excited about the playoffs.
And like you said, you don't sit here and think about what's happening during the season. You focus on the next game, but that you wanted to go back and say, hey, we do deserve to pat ourselves on the back. We have worked hard to get here. Just, what that meant for you, because I know whenever I tell you, hey, Mary, you've won 10 games in a row, or, you got only one loss in the conference, or you've done this, or you've done that, or look at how you're doing at home, and you're always like, Dan, you got the numbers for me. I'm just playing the next game. To take a breath and to actually say to your team, like, hey, before we go into the playoffs here, let's just take a moment to just clap it up and really appreciate the fact that we worked really hard to get here.
Yeah, I guess that was good timing. You talk about having seasons during the season, and, we did accomplish a lot in our first quote-unquote season of our season. And, I don't look too much in the past and don't look too far in the future. And so I think that's been one of the key things for our team, is just being present and, is a way to kind of just wrap up like, hey, we did awesome this year, and we got a lot more work to do. We're going to keep that fire burning inside of us, but, let's as women, let's celebrate this accomplishment.
And Moyne has felt success with Gina Castelli, and you were there when this team won their first ever NE10 tournament in the history of Moyne College after I think it was 20 plus years. To know that you head into this NE10 tournament as a top seed in the Southwest Division, just what it means about where the program is and building off and maybe respecting, the success of the past as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I've been coaching in New York like probably 90% of my coaching career, and I've always followed Lemoyne, and I've always wanted them to have success, and to be a part of it when I was here with Coach Castelli, and now continuing on the foundation that she built. It's just, I feel like it's just time. We went through the turmoil of the tough years, and the work has been put in, the support's been put in by the administration, and it's just time that Lemoyne is definitely where it's supposed to be in the conference.
And you say Lemoyne is where it's supposed to be in the conference. What made you believe that Lemoyne should and could be on the top of the NE10?
I mean, this is one of the best conferences in Division II basketball. I always compare it to the old Big East. There's no game that's ever easy, and it's like everybody always has a chance. And why not Lemoyne? Why not us Dolphins? So you put in the work, and you'll have great success. And I think that's what we've done all season, even with Coach Castelli, is the work got put in and the support was there, so we definitely found success.
That coming here from Mary Grimes, the head coach of the Lemoyne Dolphins women's basketball team, getting a share of the regular season title here in the Southwest Division and heading toward the tournament. Just what you can say this season about the tournament. There's been some changes to certain things in different divisions of the NCAA and different conferences, allowing every team to compete in the tournament after everything we've been through with COVID. So kind of a way of saying, hey, I know you lost something, but let's try and give everybody an opportunity to maybe gain something back. Just what you can say about the makeup of the NE10 tournament this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for everybody. It's great for our sport. It's great for women's basketball that everybody gets a chance to participate. And, a lot of these teams and the players didn't have an opportunity to play last year, or their season was cut short a year and a half ago. And, it's just a testament to them understanding the situation, that it's not, about outside things, but just giving the student athletes opportunity. And that's what I think I love most about Division II, is that balance and understanding the student and the athlete part of it. And I think it would be silly not to let everybody participate. So maybe that could be the rule going forward, and you get good basketball out of it. You definitely get good basketball out of it. So we're looking forward to postseason.
Yeah, and knowing that everybody's going to be in it. I think when we look at D1, D1 gets to do that, right? If you're the worst team, if you have 9 wins out of, 30-some-odd games, let's say you walk into it like 9-23, you still have the opportunity to play, and you can make a run, and some teams do. And I think, that's the incredible part of what we get to see here, is that you have that new season in the tournament, and people say, okay, well, if every team makes it, then what's the point of the regular season? Well, the point of the regular season is seeding. The point of regular season is your non-conference and conference wins helping you, that even if you don't win the tournament, for an at-large bid. So I think there's a lot of value in the regular season, but I agree with you that, with the value being in the regular season, I still think every team deserves to be in the tournament, because if you're a part of the conference, you should have the opportunity to play. And listen, if you didn't have a great season, you're the bottom seed. But if you did have a great season, you're the top seed. That's the whole point of seeding and giving us these matchups. And I think everybody should have a shot at their conference tournaments, and then see where they go from there.
Yeah, it's just like, that's why you have Cinderellas, right? Loyola men's basketball a couple years ago, it's just like that makes for great parity in our sport. It's just like, things can happen, of course if you're on top, you want to stay on top, but like you said, for those teams at the bottom, it's like another opportunity, and it just gives the student athlete another opportunity to play.
Yeah, it gives us a chance to, continue to see great basketball, and to see just how difficult, this conference is that you speak about so highly of. In the Northeast 10, definitely has done a lot of great things. I think it's great. When I had the opportunity to speak with the ACC coordinator of men's basketball officiating, when I had the opportunity to speak with him, Brian Kersey, that he was telling me that they actually have a rotation and an alliance of officials, and that the Northeast 10 is the only Division II conference that rotates these officials with all these other D1 conferences. So I think it says a lot and plays a lot to what you've been talking about, and I've been saying, that, this conference, albeit Division II, gets a lot of respect of Division, connecting to the Division I in some way, shape, or form. And there has been a team coming out of the Northeast 10 that actually became a Division I team.
Yeah, I mean, this is highly competitive basketball. I mean, even in recruiting, we're competing with, high-level programs, mid-major programs. It's not, there's no cupcakes here. So, you come in and you got to understand what you're coming into. It's not, just fun and games here. You're coming in to win a league championship and compete for national championships. And I think that's what I like best about it is like you'll have an opportunity to compete for a national championship. And there's not many people, even in Division I, what are you competing for? A conference championship and first round NCAA. But here you can compete for a national championship, and to put that, on your resume as a student athlete and have that experience, that's unbelievable. And that's why I hang around Danny Sheehan all the time, because I'm trying to get some of that to rub off on me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you rub his shoulder? Do you kind of do like the lucky head thing, rub the head? Do you tell him, like, hey, wear this T-shirt and then give it to me for the rest of the week? I mean, what do you do to make sure that the Sheehan shine, so to speak, rubs off on you?
Well, I mean, that's the best part about Lemoyne, too, is just like we see each other in the hallways. I just saw him this morning, and, and any advice that he's willing to give, I definitely take. So, and it's all just part of me growing as a coach. I don't know it all, and so any information that I can soak up to help us be better as a team, I'm willing to take.
Yeah, and speaking here with Mary Grimes, Lemoyne Dolphins women's basketball head coach here as we head into the tournament. Break it down for us. For those that don't know, when it comes to Northeast 10, there's a Northeast division, there's a Southwest division, 7 teams in both. Just how the tournament is going to look this year, and obviously you have a first-round bye.
Yeah, you know me, Dan. I don't even look that far ahead. I know what we got, and that's all I'm thinking about.
Okay.
I can't. If I start worrying about what everybody else is doing, then I think we lose focus on what we're doing. So Friday, St. A's plays AIC, and we'll be playing on Sunday at 3:00 here at Ted Grant Court against one of those two teams. And that's the best part is being ranked first in our division. We get the home seed, so they got to come to us, which is awesome. Our kids love playing here. We've got great fans. We got good family support. So that's all I'm thinking about right now, and then we'll figure out the next game as it comes. But like I said, I'm going to celebrate this regular season, and then that's the only game I'm worried about is Sunday.
I love that. You're just like, hey, Bob, what time do I play? Thank you. Like that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and like you said, you'll be watching obviously very closely to see how some of the first round of the Northeast 10 conference tournament stacks up here as St. Anselm, the number 4 seed, and number 5 seed in American International will have it. Just to speak on, I mean, we obviously don't know at this point which team it's going to be, but you've played them both. What have you taken away from St. Anselm and American International? You just played 2 games ago, so obviously a close proximity of playing them. Going up against both of these teams, what have you learned from American International as well as St. Anselm?
Yeah, I mean, American International, they've got some high-level guards that, you got to keep out of paint and make sure they're not knocking down threes. And I think it's the same for St. A's, that the guard play is just unbelievable. So it's kind of similar in that respect, and we play a little bit different style. We try to go inside a lot more, so we're going to try and capitalize on that. But this is a guard-heavy league. I feel like we kind of flipped it upside down a little bit with the style of play we play, but, they're both really similar. We're excited to play either one, but there's, Paige Diamond, she's got Player of the Week numerous times. Gabby Turco, freshman, she's unbelievable for St. A's, both of those guards. And, just being mindful that we got to lock them down and not let them get their averages. And Destiny Perry from AIC, she's an unbelievable guard. She just scores on all 3 levels. So, like I said, it's a guard-heavy league, and we're just going to have to be mindful of those 3 players, regardless of which one we play. So, we just have to play our game. I think that's the biggest thing, and we got to shoot better. That's the biggest thing too. I think our defense speaks for itself, but we're knocking down shots. We're tough team to beat.
what do you take away, from this last regular season game against Pace, a 73-62 loss on the road in Pleasantville, New York? What notes from that game can help you the most as you head into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we just got to get back to what we're doing and, do it well. Scoring inside, like I talked about, and, making those easy chippies, as we like to call them. You don't really like to trade twos for threes, or threes for twos, but, if we can start scoring inside, I think, it'll open up inside. And, it's just been a tough stretch for us with the kids we play and the amount of minutes they have to play. We're going to take a day off today and, get back at it tomorrow and just really hone in on our offense, because we got to score. You got to score to win, at the end of the day. But I'm super proud of our team. They fought like crazy. We pressed for 40 minutes last night. We went over it in practice and shoot around, and we kind of just we'll use this if we need to, and we needed it the whole game, and they fought for 40 minutes. And, Erin Foraker, our captain, she said it best, that she was just really proud of her team. And, whereas Franklin Pierce, we kind of caved in and didn't fight, but last night we fought really, really hard, and I'm super proud of our team for that. And Erin made note of it yesterday in our post-game team talk, that we just fought. There was no sign of ever giving up, and so that's good for me as a coach going into the postseason, know that they still got fight in them and they got some fire left.
Yeah, and to know, again, you went through such a season, a grueling season. Everybody, goes through the ups and downs of a season. You had a lot of success, but obviously there's adversity and there's dealing with different things and making sure your body's right, your mind's right, your heart's in the right place. How do you, and I know you'll be more effective after the season, but you just roll with me for this for a second. What would you attribute to the fact that this team has had so much success? You come in and you take over the leadership role. You've been an assistant on the team before, and they've had, Gina Castelli for years now, and she really tried. She told me the day she came in, I want to build this into a national championship caliber team. I want this program to go to the NCAA tournament. I want this program to be consistently successful. She leaves, you come in, you have a connection to Lemoyne and a history with Lemoyne, but you've been other places in between and Xavier recently. And so you come back here. Why do you think the women on this team bought into your vision and your mission? What clicked, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a veteran team, so that definitely helped. Our seniors, I rely heavily on them. And I think we have a really good relationship, off the court where, we just talk about things other than basketball, and our group chat, the symbol for it, or the picture we have for our group chat, it says good teams, coaches lead, championship teams, players lead. And I think that's what we have here. We're a championship team. This is definitely a player-driven team. They want it. I just try to get out of their way. So it's just a tribute to, the players that were recruited here, and they were winners. They were winners in high school. So that's a lot to be said about, how they come into college. But it's definitely the veterans on this team. They had that taste of championship as freshmen, and now being able to, come back as seniors, and now the load's on them. It's always different. As freshmen, you kind of feel like, oh yeah, we won, but maybe you didn't make the winning shot, or, you didn't have to score 20 points, but you were part of it. And now, they have to be the ones leading and scoring those 20 points and hitting those winning shots. And they've just embraced it. And, it's been unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, and what makes you so unselfish? Some coaches like the accolades. They like to be talked about. They like to, get the successes and get all the credit. You said that in your group chat, good teams, coaches lead, championship teams are great teams, players lead. You're literally saying within that, hey, I'm taking a back seat to you guys. I'm putting you guys ahead of me. Why are you like that? Why are you so much about the team?
I don't even Dan, because it was funny. My thought process, before we played Pace, I was just like, I've done stuff, but I haven't made one shot this season. I didn't make any shots. They did it, so yeah, I can say, hey, we're going to run this play, and you can put them in the right spots, but they have to do it, and so that was my thought process before Pace, is just like, yeah, I'm leading, but they've gone out and they've done the work, and it's just been unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, it's incredible to see what this team has already put together and what could come. I want to give some credit to someone you recruited to come to Lemoyne when you were an assistant there, and you were coaching the bigs. You brought in this big. Now she's an assistant coaching the bigs, Joanna Dabrowski, Joe Dobro. Just what you can say about what she's brought to the table and what it means to have her there on the staff.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a more passionate person. You're more passionate about basketball. She's passionate about Lemoyne, and she's positive. She's really positive. She brings really good energy to the staff, to the team. Some little things that I'm probably not even thinking about, like, oh, it's so and so's birthday, we got to get them a cake. She's on it. So as far as team chemistry and everything, she's been great for that. And she's still learning the X's and O's, but I couldn't ask for a better assistant in those regards.
And 14 of your 16 wins this season came in conference, in a conference that we have talked so highly of in the Northeast 10. Just what that says about, what you've been able to do and what this team has been able to do, to have 14 of your 16 wins come within. I know you don't play a ton of non-conference games, but to know how well this team has done inside of the Northeast 10, and that's represented the majority of the wins this season.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about how competitive it is, and, you're going to play all these teams twice on our side, once on the other side. It's just like, you got to value every single game. And I think throughout the season we did that, if I give myself credit for anything, I would say that I didn't let them look too far in the future and didn't, let them think a lull in the past. We kept every game present. So it's a tough league, and to do what we're doing, it's been great. And I mean, there's no easy game. I mean, Pace play AIC on Saturday and lost, and then they came back and beat us. So you just have to value every game. It's like a football team. They get so many games a season. It's just like each game is important. So I think we take that approach, and that's why we've had so much success.
11-1 at Ted Grant Court, and you get to be home for this. Just what it means to you to be in familiar digs as you get set for the tournament, and then secondly, what you want to say to the community on why they should come out. Yeah,
I mean, it's great. My team loves playing at home. They love sleeping in their own beds. It's a great comfortability factor, for sure. A lot of parents can come out, and to the fans, to the community, we've been putting together a great season, and we want to see great basketball. It's a great environment. The administration does a great job of creating a great environment to come watch basketball. There's things that during timeouts, you can win prizes. The music's good. It's just overall a great environment to be at, because, you're going to see some good basketball. So come on out, 3 o'clock. Don't know who we're playing yet, but Sunday we'll be here, and we're going to be playing hard.
And Mary, you said the music's good. I got to ask you this because we haven't talked about this before. Well, no, I'm sorry. We did actually talk about this a little bit, but I want to know right now, if you could have 3 songs played on Sunday to pump up the crowd that are your songs, what are the 3 songs you would pick?
You know what I like right now? We talked about this, Bruno Mars. I'm a big Bruno Mars fan. Yeah. Skate. I like that song right now, probably because my daughter Mia, she got skates for her birthday, and she's been skating around the gym a lot. So that song is on repeat. Skate by Bruno Mars. Anything with Beyonce, because I just love how she empowers women through her music. And I mean, I know, Michael. I always love a good Michael Jackson song. It just kind of, you just get up and dance and you feel good. So he's the king of pop, and so that's what I would say my top 3. If I heard those, I'd be definitely bobbing my head.
I like that, and I like the fact that, Mia, that you got her skates because you're a smart parent. You put her on skates, you let her skate around, she gets exhausted. By the time everything's done, she goes home and goes to bed.
No, man, that's not what happens. She has boundless energy. The Energizer Bunny has nothing on my daughter Mia. She just goes and goes and goes. There's nothing that there's no rest. There's none. Zero. And if you want to see it, you come out on Sunday and you will see it. You will know exactly who Mia is. She'll be bopping around on Sunday at 3:00 in Ted Grant Court.
I think, she runs the show. She definitely, controls it out there, which I think is great. Before I let you go, Mary, I got to ask you this. Dr. Linda Lemura and Bob Beretta, the president and director of athletics at Moyne College, respectively, gave you an opportunity. It was the day we met when there was the official press conference, and you and I got to sit down. Going back to that day, which was not a long time ago when you had the opportunity to take over this program, just what you want to say to Linda and Bob for believing in you and giving you this opportunity.
Yeah, I'm obviously always forever grateful. There was opportunities that I thought I should have had in the past, but, a testament to them to, seeing the body of work I put together as an assistant coach and here at Moyne and, and just taking a chance. I've always felt ready. I just needed the opportunity, and I think, kudos to them for stepping outside of the box and making a change and, hiring the first African-American female in school history to be a head coach. And, that's why I told Bob I just going to make him look good, and I hope I am.
and Mary, you talk so much, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about this, about empowering women and empowering the African-American community. Just, what that means to you, and you don't shy away from it. You're very clear about it, messages that you wear on your clothes, things that you say within the conversations that you and I have had. You've never shied away from the fact that not only are you Mary Grimes, but you are proud to be a woman, you're proud to be African-American, you're proud to represent your heritage, you're proud to represent who God made you to be. And so I would love to, get your thoughts on how you carry that with you and what it means to you, and just the importance of not shying away ever from being proud of who you are.
Yeah, I think it's important that, you have great role models. Growing up, I had role models that I looked up to. I was very, involved and invested and, wanted to know the history of basketball. And, I didn't watch the NBA much. I'm from Detroit, so I grew up in the Bad Boys era. And I think I was outside playing when they were winning their first championship. I wasn't even concerned about that. But when the WNBA came along and, there's WNBA players out there, I had pictures of Dawn Staley up on my wall, Lisa Leslie. Like, I just wanted to see people like me playing basketball. Ruthie Bolton Holyfield. Ruthie Bolton is one of my favorite players, and she's kind of like Joe Dumars. She did all the dirty work. And I think it's great for young women to have role models and see them have success. And I'm just trying to be that for somebody else, for young women today. And it's great for my daughter. She's around the players all the time. She sees her mom, but she also sees the players. And, I feel like it's just going to be a trickle-down effect that, you can be a mom, you can have a career, and you can be successful. So, I'm just trying to be that for someone else.
That coming from Mary Grimes. Mary, you are a lot of things for a lot of people: inspirational, positive, good vibes, very, just a great ball of energy. I know where Mia gets it from. That's what I'll say. So I do.
Maybe by the time she's 40, she'll know how to kind of compartmentalize it a little bit, but.
Maybe she will. So, but the beauty of it is, I'm very happy for you coming back to this community. I'm happy for what you've given to us. We definitely are grateful. I'm very grateful that you're here, and, positivity. I told you the day I met you, I don't know if you remember this, but when we sat there right outside of Ted Grant Court in that little lounge area, I said, I'm going to enjoy building a relationship with you. I'm going to enjoy talking with you. And, that was because of the positive vibes I felt. And I've felt nothing but better every time after that. And I think one of the coolest things that I didn't know is that, my mom, she'll watch sports, and we grew up watching, sports together and whatnot. And she watched it because of me. But when I asked her to come to the game a couple weeks ago, she sat there in the middle of the game, and we were right, kitty corner to being behind the bench. And she said to me, she goes, this is the first women's basketball game I ever came to. And it'll mean the world to me forever that was a Moyne game and that you were the coach.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we won. But I do remember that day, and thank you for your support, and we'll just keep trying to make everybody in the community proud, as well as on the college campus.
Well, I only have a couple words to you, and that's see you at 3 p.m. this Sunday.
There you go. All right, bring your popcorn or buy some at the concession stand, all right?
All right, thank you, Mary, so much for everything. Thank you for all you do, and I hope that we can get the whole community saying, "What's up, Mary?"
What's up, Finn? All right?
Take care of yourself. I'll talk with you soon.
All right, thank you.
Take care. That coming from Mary Grimes here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. She just, she does. She makes the day better. You know what I mean? She's one of those people that just knows how to make your day better. Mary Grimes, Moyne Dolphins, women's basketball, head coach, the game. They are the #1 seed. Now, this season for the Northeast 10, as Mary and I were talking about, with everything going on with COVID, there's conferences that had this incredible idea to say, hey, you know how we eliminate some teams from play? We're not eliminating anybody. So there's been schools in Division 2, or there's been conferences in Division 2 and Division 3, not all of them, but some of them, that have made the decision that everybody gets to play, regardless of record, and regardless of, maybe as a top 4 seeds, and not everybody. Well, now, in the Northeast 10 and in some other conferences out there in D2 and D3, every team gets to play. And in a way, I feel like it's a way for the conference to say, hey, we've all been through a lot. We've all had to navigate this pandemic. So we're going to give you a nice addition to your season, a nice little surprise and something that you have. So I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to see it. Moyne is the #1 seed in the Southwest Division. There's a Northeast Division of the Northeast 10, and there's a Southwest Division. 7 teams here, 7 teams there. And the #1 seed in the Southwest Division is your Moyne College Dolphin program. So I'm very excited about that. They are the #1 seed, which means they have a first-round bye. They will play the winner of 4-seeded St. Anselm and 5-seeded American International. That game will tip off this Sunday, February 27th at 3 p.m. at Ted Grant Court right here in our community, right off of Erie Boulevard in Syracuse on Salt Springs Road. I will be there. I look forward to seeing you. Come say hi if you're going to be there. And I would love to see you out here at the Northeast 10 Tournament as Moyne gets to host, and Moyne being the #1 seed coming out of the Southwest Division. I'm incredibly excited for Mary and the team. I hope that this is only the beginning of a beautiful new season as we step into the postseason, and I hope that this will not only hopefully bring them to some very happy news in the Northeast 10, but also for the NCAA Division II Women's Basketball Tournament. So, big shout out to Mary Grimes, and a big thank you to Mary for being a part of the show. And you can go to LeMoyneDolphins.com for more information. At the bottom of LeMoyneDolphins.com, you will see my logo, which if you click on it will bring you to my website. And then on my website, the Moyne logo will bring you right back to Moyne. So it's cyclical as we continue to work in the community together. We will take a step aside for a fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. And we'll be back here to start a new video right after this fast break inside the Cafe Kubal studios. Fill your cup up right this morning, and thank you for being a part of our beautiful and amazing Central and Upstate New York community. And thank you to my listeners and viewers from Central and Upstate New York, Syracuse, up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the world, including this morning, and maybe for the first time ever, those of you that are watching and listening from the Dominican Republic. Thank you. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout central and upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cubal needs. Cafe Cubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcall. DT, you're inside the Cafe Cubal studios, and we appreciate you being here. Cafe Cubal, 3501 James Street, as well as 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse, inside of Galisanos Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse, and of course on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at their Sweetheart Corner location in North Syracuse, which is a drive-through and an indoor dining, and their 343 Fayette Street Manlius location. That I call it the Manlius Welcome Center. That brings you right into Manlius, the giant behemoth of a brown striped building where I was yesterday with my special Jason Leone, Oswego State Lakers men's basketball head coach, who's getting ready for the postseason himself, also a number one seed. So very excited about Oswego. You can go back and watch that video on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Special thanks to everybody that watches and listens every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/livenowdt, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Once the shows go live, you can check them out in the archives by going to Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, MixLR, Podbean, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. All you have to do on any one of these channels is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT, to get our shows that you love to go back and listen to, or anything you've missed at any given time, and it's free to listen and watch on all of these channels. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora would like to thank our Central and Upstate New York partners and beyond: Cafe Cubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, PB&J's Lunchbox, Honda City of Liverpool, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, the Millhouse Market, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Pizza Man, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Mother's Cupboard, and of course, being the exclusive multimedia marketing partner is very important to us, of the Lemoyne Dolphins, the Marywood Pacers, and the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats. Coverage of the Lemoyne Dolphins on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora happens for you every single month, with videos and interviews coming up all throughout the month at different times, as well as things shared on our story on Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. Make sure you're on our social media, connecting with us, as then that'll connect you with Lemoyne. youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe and get our archive of Lemoyne content inside of AD and DT, as well as Dolphin Dive and other specials like our special with President Dr. Linda Lemura of Lemoyne College. And of course, you can go to our Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com. Find out more information about the Lemoyne Dolphins by going to lemoynedolphins.com. Marywood University is also a proud multimedia marketing partner of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We are the exclusive partner of Marywood University's Pacers, and our Pacer Pride segments come to you every Friday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can see new episodes every single week, and of course, you can see our Marywood content being shared on our Instagram story at wakeupcall_DT, as well as so many things throughout the month with video and audio interviews and so much more. Pacer Pride is with us all the time on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and we look forward to the opportunity of sharing these specials with you and telling the incredible stories of so many fantastic people in our community. YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT will have all of the videos there, so click subscribe, and the Marywood tab on WakeUpCallDT.com, and stay tuned for new episodes of Pacer Pride exclusively airing on Wake Up Call on Friday mornings. Go to MarywoodPacers.com for more information. Incredible and exciting music. That's why I have to let it play as long as I do. Syracuse.bscbobcats.com is where you need to go for all of your Bryan and Stratton updates, and of course your Bobcat Buzz exclusive episodes airing in our multimedia marketing partnership with the Bryan and Stratton College Syracuse Bobcats. Come to you every single month, and our inaugural episode is airing currently right now on youtube.com/wakeupcallDT. You can check that out by subscribing, and of course you can go to the BSC SYR page on wakeupcalldt.com to get that video, which features athletic director and men's soccer head coach, as well as national champion Nick Dmitrievsky, Alex Grigorita, the assistant athletic director, women's soccer head coach and national champion, as well as women's basketball head coach Clay Gagan-Sherman, men's basketball head coach Danny Frasina, and baseball head coach with the new baseball program starting at Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, that being Sean Peak. All of them are on the broadcast together in a roundtable discussion you don't want to miss by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and clicking subscribe, or going to the BSC SYR tab on wakeupcalldt.com. Plenty more Bobcat buzz coming your way, including some very awesome episodes that I cannot wait to share with you. So many cool videos coming up on our social media, and you can find out more about the Bobcats once again by going to syracuse.bscbobcats.com. With that being stated here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, we're going to start a new video for fantasy football, proudly presented by the Wildcat Sports Pub, and we'll also do the Ingredients to Success brought to you by, actually we're going to do the Ingredients to Success right now, brought to you by Avicoli. So I do want to take the time to do this. My topic for the Ingredients to Success is what I said to Frankie earlier. The world can tell you who you are, or you can tell the world who you are. Either the world can tell you who you are, or you can tell the world who you are. The ingredients to success for that: love yourself, first and foremost. Well, actually, love God, first and foremost. That'll change your life for the better. Love yourself. Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with people that challenge you, don't disrespect you, but challenge you. Constructively criticize you, not destructively criticize you. There is a difference. You have to be able to take criticism, but constructive, not destructive, is what you let into your life. Have positive habits. Make sure you're cooking at home, making some food at home, doing some things for yourself, taking walks, walking the dog, playing with your cat, going, on vacation, taking a little trip, taking a drive, listening to music, singing, whatever it may be, going to the movies, going to the mall. Things that help you to shut your brain off, relax. Don't trust social media to tell you who you are. Don't wait for somebody to give value to you. You have to give value from within. If you don't give value from within, every day you wake up, you're waiting for value from someone else. And if you're waiting for someone to validate you, sometimes people don't. And then you waste that day. Or sometimes people devalue you and they haven't validated you, and that wastes a day. Or sometimes people build you up and they do validate you, and maybe you feel good. But if you're waiting for the world to validate you, you're going to have a lot of days that go wasted, and maybe a few days where somebody boosts up your ego. But when you love yourself from the inside out, you know who you are. And so when the world tells you who you are, you can say, yeah, that's right, or no, that's not. When you know you, what does it say? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So people will tell you who you are. People will tell you what you are, what you're capable of. Sometimes that's positive and sometimes it's negative. When you know who you are, you're not looking for someone to validate you. It's a bonus. When you know who you are and somebody tells you exactly who you are, you go, wow, that's awesome. My message is getting through. When you know who you are and somebody tells you who you're not, you can bounce that right off of you and say, you know what? I'm not absorbing that because I know that that's not who I am. Am I presenting myself that way? That's something to look at. Knowing who you are will bounce off when people tell you who you're not. You can't absorb all the negative energy that's around you. You got to absorb the positive stuff. Very excited for everything that is to come. Thanks, Greg. DT Broadcast Media soundtrack is straight. Let's go, bro. So we are going to end this video and start a new one on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT, all the time, wakeupcalldt.com, youtube.com/Wake Up Call DT. Thank you to Avicolis for always bringing us the ingredients to success, typically every Tuesday at the end of the show. We did it on Wednesday this week. Thank you to Avicolis. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to John, Nick, and the team. Can't wait to be out there very soon doing some awesome stuff with the community and your Liverpool Warriors. I appreciate you, Avicolis. Thank you for all the work you do, and thank you to the community for loving them up, especially at such a difficult last couple of years, how much you've done just to buy a slice of pizza and to support a local business that has been dedicated to you for decades. On the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday. And, of course, 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. 315-622-5100, as well as going to myavicolis.com. Thank you, Avicolis, for the ingredients to success, and thank you for being so good to us. Folks, you can tell the world who you are, or the world can tell you who you are. Make a choice and understand there is a right one and a wrong one in that. Don't let the world dictate who you are. You tell the world who you are on your terms. And God bless. No stress. Do your best. For fantasy football content,